This movie was bad, really bad, and I really, really did not like how they treated Helm Hammerhand. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna go through the some of the major points of the movie and explain why they didn't work and why I don't like it. And I'm gonna be as objective as I can as possible. So when this story actually does do something, that's actually commendable, I'm gonna say it. All right, and I'm not gonna take away any points from this movie, for some bad animation or stuff like that. I mean, bad animation is bad animation, good animation is good animation. It just doesn't subtract from the actual how the story goes. All right, so let's just dive right in. All right, but this disclosure, disclaimer, whatever. I love Lord of the Rings. The three movies are my favorite franchises. I love the story. I'm not super familiar with the whole lore and everything. I've watched Men of the West sometimes to watch their videos because I like Lord of the Rings a lot. Um, so I know I'm somewhat familiar with what happens with Helm Hammerhand, but for the sake of this story, I'm just gonna focus on everything that's presented in this movie. So anything that happens out of lore, I'm not gonna take that into consideration. So similar like with the Eagles, like did the Eagles really help Rohan and all that stuff? As far as I'm aware, they didn't in the sense of a battle like this. But for the sake of this story, I'm just gonna roll with it because again, I'm being presented with a story here, so I figured let's just do this, right? So anyway, let's just cut right to the story, right to the beginning. Again, with as I said earlier, with Hera, talking not talking about she feeds the eagles. She tries, getting along with them and everything because they're giant eagles. Why wouldn't you, right? And they don't seem to be like a threat to humans essentially, or to good humans, I should say. Yeah, she tries feeding them and everything. Then she goes back home, and then that's when she learns that yeah they got company that the a bunch of the people that are loyal to Rohan, to Helm Hammerhand, are gathering together. They get together, and of course, that's where I don't remember Wolf's dad's name. I'm just gonna call him Wolf Senior. I do not care to go back and look it up. Well, Wolf Senior goes up and he starts making a ruckus and everything, all this and that, because Hera won't marry, she's gonna marry someone from Gundor, and Hera's not happy about that because again, in the story, she does say, "I don't ever want to marry a man." Lesbonio. And then of course she goes, sorry, not her, then some words get thrown around. It's kind of an interesting I'm not gonna lie, kind of like the dialogue between Senior and Helm, just a bit. Then they take it outside, and Wolf Senior thinks he's all, he's like the greatest punching Helm Hammerhand, but nope. Helm just knocks him once and kills him, and even Helm's like, I just hit him. You all saw, I just hit him once and killed him. And of course, Wolf gets mad. He wants to kill Helm, but of course, no, you can't do that. And then Wolf runs away, and then we get dialogue saying many seasons later. So I'm assuming a few years later, probably 2 years, maybe 3 at most, because Wolf is gathering an army. And as he's doing so, how did he get the armies? How did he get them to fight for him? I don't know. They're just doing it now. So remember, these are not orcs; these are men. So they're not gonna be like the like orcs from like again for like the orcs for Isengard, which we do see Isengard, but obviously not under Sauron, or like orcs from Mordor essentially. They're just gonna follow whatever the leader says because he's like their boss. But no, like what in the world could Wolf have done? I don't know. I thought we were gonna get something from that, especially when we learned one of Helm's people betrayed Helm. I thought we were gonna learn that okay, he promised some lands and riches and stuff like that. We get none of that, so I was like, whatever. The movie's not gonna tell us what happened, so I'm not gonna even care or ask. So anyway, Hera and some of the okay, it's Hera, Shield Maiden. They are the greatest warriors in this movie. The Shield Maidens are the top tier elites of the Rohan military. When the men fail, the maidens are the ones that rise up and defeat the enemy that the RoHERrim couldn't defeat. So remember that. It was so stupid. Anyway, and then yeah, it's Freya, Shield Maiden's some dorky kid that's so inspired by the Shield Maidens, not the men that obviously die a lot in this fights, but whatever. And their cousin, which the cousin was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed him. He does something stupid like right here when they're going off exploring, trying to figure out what's going on as they find a dead like they find dead horses, like wild horses being killed off. They're wondering what's going on. You find a dead dude, a dead Sutherling, or then no, a horse, sorry, a giant mimicule. Oliphant comes rampaging through, and of course the cousin's like, "Yeah, I'll distract it." He goes under it and slices it, but like it doesn't spill his guts or anything. It was weird. Like that was odd to me. I was like, "What in the world?" Like, and I also didn't like he went directly under it. Like that's dangerous. Like you could easily have died. Like you could have been skilled. It's crazy. Like the only reason I could buy it when Eowyn does it in the Lord of the Rings is because there's many people around the Oliphant. The Oliphant's like try to swipe at them all, and she manages to make her way under it when it's swinging its giant tusks. That's how she was able to do it. So I would have liked it better if the cousin just went by, either had a spear or sort of just start slashing at it or stabbing at it with the spear on the side and cause the Oliphant to go after him. And this part where the cousin falls off his horse and then he starts running and the Oliphant's barely unable to catch up with him. It was so stupid. And then of course Hera gets the horn, blows in, and she runs into the forest. And the elephant follows her. And then she gets off her horse when she goes by a lake because there's a watcher there. She throws a spear to get the watcher's attention, and she turns around. Okay, why did she get off the horse? Good question. Don't ask questions. And then she turns around. The Oliphant's like almost sneaking up on her. Like it almost snuck up on her, and this was stupid. Like really, like this creature that's clearly infested with rabies that's just been stabbed is sneaking up on someone without making noise. Like that was stupid. And it comes out obviously. Then the watcher reaches out, grabs the Oliphant, eats it up like a spaghetti. Um. Also, when I first watched it, I thought this Oliphant was gonna be like a calf or something because it's small, but it's not obviously like it's like it's weird because it does seem like the sizes of the elephant do change. Like it's not very consistent. This is the one I would say is the most inconsistent. The other ones when you see at night are fine. With how they are just. I thought this was a calf because it's not massive, but it's not like it's like bigger than our elves our elephants would be, but not like I'd be surprised if this Oliphant reached up to the knees of the ones we saw in Two Towers and Return of the King. I'd be surprised. But yeah, then she gets captured by Wolf's dudes and the freaking cousin and Shield Maiden go to Isengard. They find her there and they're like, okay, we gotta figure out something. And her Shield Maiden's like, I got this, and she freaking does got this because when Freya wakes up, her and Wolf are kind of having an argument where Freya's like, yeah, we're gonna get Gundor, and Wolf correctly assumes, yeah, your dad's not gonna ask Gundor for help. Okay, why? Why? Like they must have a good relationship, Gundor and Rohan. If two other people are gonna get married with each other, they must have a good relationship, right? Why won't they come? I don't know. I'm assuming it's because just like in the movies, in Two Towers, call for Gundor, call for Gundor. Where was Gundor when the Westfold fell? Something like that. I think that's what they're going for, like member berries, of course. I didn't care for that because, like, well, explain to us why isn't Gundor going to help? Maybe Freya, kept proposing the freaking wedding, and I got Gundor ticked off, and like, you know what, we're not going to help you, something like that, But no, we don't get anything. We don't get anything. That would make Gundor like seem petty, but but it could have been something at least, Again, this is just ideas I'm just throwing out of here. This movie's freaking over 2 hours long. I was blown away, man. I was counting the minutes. Oh boy. And then freaking Shield Maiden fights her way up the Tower of Isengard. Not all the way. This is probably 3-4 stories tall up the section. The Shield Maiden, I kid you not, fights her way up, fights with Wolf as Wolf's guards come in to back him up. Freya gets away, Shield Maiden gets away. It's retarded, like really retarded. And then I hate this movie. And then they're getting away. Then the cousin comes in, and then he starts killing these guys in the wall that are gonna fire arrows at Hera and Shield Maiden. He starts killing them. A bit of plot armor on his end, but overall it was pretty cool to see and everything. And him and the Shield Maiden get away. And yes, I would still say the same thing if if the roles were reversed. If somehow the cousin went up freaking Isengard to save Hera and he managed to get away, and the Shield Maiden was on the wall fighting the archer guys, and like just say it was the same reverse. Like I'd still have a problem. Like if the cousin went up, I'd be like, how the freak did he do that? He shouldn't be able to do that. He's surrounded. There's a lot of people. This Shield Maiden has a lot of freaking plot armor, man. It's insane. It gets worse. But they all get away and they make it back, and then the daughter's like, King, we gotta light the beacons. We gotta call for a Gundor's aid. We need to get out of here. And the dad's like, yeah, right. You're you don't know none of the ways of the war. You're a woman essentially, and I'm not gonna lie, he's right. I mean, women don't fight. Like they're literally like the last resorts. And I know they said the Shield Maidens, but they seem to be the best. Oh man. All right, and then oh, free man. Then they get their army because other people are like, yeah, we'll bring our men to help you out. Of course they don't. As soon as that guy said, I pledge my 400 men, I was like, oh, freak, he's a traitor. he's a freaking traitor. It was like so freaking obvious, and we never see what happens with him, or why he betrayed Helm. We never see that. So I don't know. And then of course, then they see the Oliphants coming, and then no, the Oliphants coming later. My bad. They see a bunch of guys with freaking bows. Or RoHERrim just full on charges at them with their full military might. They're supposed to be similar to freaking the Rite of the RoHERrim and Return of the King, but it was dumb in here because like why would you do this, and Minas Tirith, when they did that, it was literally like because they had to, right? Because there's no other choice. You want to hit the orcs when they don't expect you, right? Here, the freaking wild men expect the RoHERrim, so why did they RoHERrim just straight on charge at them? I'll say this though, it was dumb, like incredibly stupid. Why none of Wolf's men had spears in front of the archers? That was really stupid and idiotic. It was just literally just archers, like a bunch of archers, and there's like no real swordsmen, like guarding the archers. It was dumb. So obviously a ploy, but I'm more assuming it's probably the idiocy of the writers. I'm assuming that's what it's going to be because that makes more sense, to be honest. And then of course then Freya figures out through a scroll because it has a symbol on it. She's like, wait a minute, we're gonna be betrayed. And then she's like, all right, get all the women and children out of Edagas and let's just get out of here. Good on her part, actually. I should say that. As she does manage to get everyone out as the Oliphants are coming in. The Helm Hammerhand realizes, he's like, all right, everyone, all royal guards, just focus, go and help the people. They all go. And Helm Hammerhand holds off one Mimikyu, two other Mimikyus, make their way to Edagas. And I'll say a good part on Hera's part right here for setting a part of the wall on fire to prevent the Mimikyu from charging it. And then of course, she has to freaking also have a ballista ready and fires it right to a Mimikyu and one shots it. I would have been more okay if someone else shot it, because again, the princess. If she's the princess, she shouldn't be here fighting. I don't freaking care how much time she fantasizes about fighting. That doesn't make you a good fighter. And no matter how much time she also beat Wolf and Dairy Kids. Like, I would prefer if someone shot the ballista, hit the Mimikyu went crazy, then ran into the fire, caught on fire, then died, or something like that. I think that would have been better than just one shotting and the Mimikyu's like, boom, dead. Yeah, and then the princes, Hera's brother, go in, Freya's brother, sorry, go in, and then the older one kills the Mimikyu. Okay, it's cool, but why is he doing that? There's no one in the city. They got evacuated. Hera was on top of that. Did I say Freya? My bad. Hera was on top of that. So why in the world are they doing this? Ugh. Because he needs to die. He does die. He gets a brutal death with a shot through his neck. Yeah. All right. Then the rest get away as Helmhammer got shot full of arrows too. Then they get away, and freaking this part was so stupid. I couldn't believe it. As they're all riding away, the royal it's Helmhammerhand and his daughter are riding on the same horse, and then you got the royal guard. The prince is slowly falling behind, and Hera picks up on it. She's like, and she says her brother's name. I don't remember his name. And he's like, it's okay, I'll catch up with you guys. And his horse stops because it's tired. None of the royal guards the entire time turn around to look. None of them. And then the prince gets caught, and then he gets his throat slit in front of Helm's Deep, close enough to where Helm Hammerhand and Wolf could hear each other. And I could buy none of the archers wanting to shoot down as the prince is alive. But the moment they slit the prince's throat, they all should just fired right there and just peppered freaking a Wolf and his general. But they don't do that. Why? The archers really don't do much in this freaking series, in this movie. Because we get another example of this soon. Because Helm Hammerhand gets heartbroken. He almost dies from heartbreak like Padme. He goes into a coma, and they're all sad about it. And then Hera finds the dress, and this weird little short lady's like, nah, that dress is cursed because the lady who wore it on her wedding day died because her husband died. And she's supposed to be a red herring, or mislead the audience into thinking there's ghosts and wraiths in this place. You don't know. Even I know nothing about that. I knew there wasn't gonna be one because Hellhammerhand finds a secret passage, goes out and just starts killing and killing and killing wild men to just drive fear and get revenge on them, right? And it's supposed to be like, oh yeah, this wraith is out there, going out there, killing, eating the wild men, as they're trapped to the RoHERrim in the Helm's Deep. At this point, it's just called Deep. And honestly, it should be called Hera's Deep at the end of this movie, but nah. And then, of course, Hera finds the secret passage. She goes out. Okay, this other part was stupid. I don't understand it. Okay, if any of you watching this, thank you for watching this far. I appreciate it and listening to my rant. But why? Okay. She finds the secret passage up up to the freaking up. Where in the like an actual movie where there's a secret passage out of Helm's Deep and out. Okay, she finds one. And why doesn't any of them know about this? Why does it Helm, Hera, or freaking anyone in charge of Helm's Deep knows about the secret entrance? Your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, then she sees a little entrance, right? She looks and she sees orcs collecting rings, right? And we see this in the trailer, and I totally forgot about this. I totally forgot we see orcs, but the orcs are collecting the rings of the dead. Why are the wild men burying their dead with gold? You think they'd steal that or take it from the dead? You think. Don't think about it too much. Anyway, she sees that, right? She's in the cave. They don't see her. Then she runs out and runs into a hill to hide behind it. And that's when the orcs are like, "Wait, hold on. Do you smell that? Why did she do that? Because this movie's retarded. That's why." And then she's captured. But then Helmhammer comes and fights off the orcs and fights the troll that arrives too. And then she gets the kill on it. Of course she does, because she's the best. And then Helm and Hera are like, "All right, let's bolt through the enemy camp and right to the gates of Helm's Deep instead of trying to reopen the cave that just it's not even a cave collapse. It's like a bunch of rocks just fell in the entrance. It's not a cave collapse because later in the movie they escape the people escape from there. This movie just so dumb, man. Holy freak. Anyway, they run through the camp and I forget how Wolf spots them, but Wolf spots them. He says everyone after them, all the wild men, and of course they're chased, and then Helm and Hera make it to the gate, and these men in Helm's Deep are trying to pull this lever. 4 men are trying to pull the lever to open it enough for Hera and Helm, but they're unable to do it. I think get launched back because it's just too tight. But Helm's strong enough to open it up. Hera helps too. Of course, she does 90% of it, and she loosens it as Helm just throws her in, and he's like, "All right, daughter, you were right about everything." This is a part I hate so much. He tells her, "You were right about everything. Um, I'm gonna die because I'm pretty much useless at this point. You live on. You continue to lead Rohan. This is all up to you." And of course, she doesn't want to do that. And Helm shuts the gates. And as he's talking to her for like I don't know, like 15, 30 minutes, the wild men are just slowly climbing up, and none of the archers are firing down at them. Now people would say, "What about the blizzard? Doesn't freaking matter. You still try to shoot down at the enemies approaching your king. You would still try." Whatever. And Hellhammer dies, and they try to make it look cool, but he died. Like he's like frozen dead, standing. I'm pretty sure it was done better in the appendices. I'm positive it was because this was not cool at all. It was dumb. Like he died like an idiot. He died like an idiot in this movie, and this is connected to why I hate it. At the end of who becomes in charge of Rohan, I hate Hera. I hate her for throwing away or for having her father throw his life away for nothing. Like he literally threw his life away for nothing. Oh, freaking! Oh man, am I almost done? Yes, I'm just gonna skip through a lot of unnecessary dialogue because they have a funeral, and then the cousin's wondering, why haven't we heard anything from them yet? Instead of sending scouts or messengers to figure out what's going on, because if he sent one scout to Edoras, he would have saw that it was destroyed, and he would have been like, "Oh, freak, something's up. Let's get our army and get ready to go out and help fight." He would have thought that, but no, he's just staying one spot, like twiddling his thumbs, being like, "We'll get a message from them sometime. Don't need no need to send our guys. No need to send our guys. Just wait." Oh, that was so stupid. And then freaking the wild men start building a massive freaking drop tower that's so stupid. Like you have no idea. It's like so massive. And when it's cut, it'll drop right on the wall. And I kid you not. It's so stupid because if that happened, it would snap and just shatter. Like because the bridge is just so freaking long. I thought it was gonna be a normal drop tower. And I assumed it couldn't catch on fire because they should have caught it on fire, right? But Hera, like before they drop the drop tower, Hera's like, "All right, get everyone out of here. I am gonna hold off the wild men. I know what I'm gonna do." She removes her armor, puts on a wedding dress. Yeah, and then she goes off as the giant drop tower falls. And yes, the drop tower can catch on fire because they try later on and it starts catching on fire. Don't think about it though, I guess. And then it drops, and then she rides onto it, and she's like, "I'm gonna take you on, Wolf, 1v1." And the general's like, "Dude, no, man. She's a woman in redhead. She's gonna kick your butt." And Wolf's like, "Nah, I got this." And he immediately loses badly. It's not even close. And of course, Wolf goes back on his word because he's a chump. He kills his right hand man because he's evil. and he's like, everyone charge, and they all run past Hera. I'm like, oh, like that's stupid, but okay. And the Shield Maiden, I kid you not, gets on the drop tower, holds off a ton of them, and a lot of them run past her and don't stab her from behind. They don't stab her from behind. It's so stupid. As they're running up, but then we see archers finally firing on the drop tower, trying to catch it on fire. But it's catching fire very, very slowly. It's like, okay, but they should have been doing that the moment it fell, but whatever. And then Hera and freaking Wolf start fighting again. And I remember during my live stream, I didn't remember how freaking Wolf died. All right, not yet, but I could not remember how he died. So I said I think he just tripped on his sword and died. That's not what happened. Someone told me what actually happened. I was like, oh, I didn't remember that. But then we see the cousin arrive wearing Helm Hammerhand's armor. How do we get that? I forgot. There was a part where Freya, Frika, I don't freaking care about her name, Hera, scales the side of a mountain. She pulls a guy Ladriel, just scales the side of a mountain. She goes to an eagle and somehow communicates with the eagle to deliver the armor to her father. It's like, okay, I mean that's a good scare tactic, but that was unnecessary. I get it. It's it's to show yeah, we need your help. The cousin sending a scout and seeing what was going on could have been more than enough, but whatever. And then they start coming down. They're trying to recreate the scene from Two Towers when the RoHERrim are coming down the side of the mountain to help um the truck people. But here it's just Hera. And when the wild men on the wall of Minister see it, they're like, okay, yeah, they're freaking out. They start bailing out. And Hera kills Wolf because Wolf tries to stab her when her guard's down, and she grabs his arm, overpowers him, pushes him away, and then kills him with the shield. She chokes him out with the shield. I legit think it would have been better if she just cut his head off. I think that would have been better with a sword, or I don't know. Instead, she uses her shield to just overpower him and just choke him out to death. It was pretty stupid and lame. And then when the cousin arrives and the RoHERrim start coming through and start killing all the wild men, Hera's like, "Halt, cousin. There's been too many deaths. Let them go." And the cousin's like, "Oh, sure." And then we cut to later on with the cousin being king, and Hera just threw away her dad's life away because she doesn't want to be a ruler. Even though sometimes with life, sometimes with responsibilities, you just gotta man up. And oh yeah, she's not a man. Never mind. Forget everything I was about to say. And then she's like, and the cousin's like, you would be a great ruler. And she's like, nah, it ain't my thing. Besides, I gotta go talk to someone about all these rings. And I remember watching this. I was like, no. Or yeah, we see Sauron. It was cool to see him. I wish he was in here because they use actual lines from Sir Christopher Lee, which he's a legend. He's an absolute legend. I wish they did not use that here because this was terrible. And then I'm assuming the freaking Shield Maiden was Hera's girlfriend the entire time. They're both Lesbonios. Because when the Lesbonio Shield Maiden said, you know what, I can leave, but I'm gonna stay by your side. And Hera, freaking that was not on purpose. I messed up. This crying gives her a kiss. Like, all right, let's get going. And then Shield Maiden, Lesbonio was like, all right, so where are we going? And Hera is like, you know what? The person we're going to has many names. And I was like, oh. And then she's like, but in the common tongue, he's known as Gandalf. And I was like, oh. And then the narration goes on to say, this is the story that we're not going to hear, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember it and I don't care. So yeah, end of movie, freaking 3 out of 10. This is only slightly better than Rings of Power. Slightly. Well, Rings of Power, again, if you take it as its own story, it has far more stupid characters, far more plot armors and stuff like that. Like, this was bad, but Rings of Power is just on a bigger scale bad. Because you have way more going wrong with it, and both are terrible. But yeah, Rings of Power, some episodes are 1, most of the episodes are 2, and this is a rated 3 ranking. So yeah, so it was bad. Don't watch it. Anyway, if you listen this far, I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day and take care. And if you like this movie, please tell me why. Anyway, y'all take care and have a good one.